Welcome, welcome, future educators, to Classroom Compass. I'm your host, Teacher Gay, and today we're unlocking a super important secret to successful teaching: instructional materials. To help us dig into this vital topic, we have a very special guest, a true master of the classroom, Mr. Ken. Welcome, Mr. Ken.
Thanks for having me, Teacher Gay. It's a pleasure to be here and chat with all our aspiring teachers out there.
Wonderful. So, Mr. Ken, let's start with the basics. When we talk about instructional materials, or IMs, what exactly are we referring to?
That's a great starting point, Teacher Gay. Simply put, instructional materials are all those resources teachers use to help students learn. Think of them as your teaching partners. They're designed to help you hit your learning objectives, those goals you set based on your curriculum, school rules, and what your students need. Plus, they really help make the learning process smoother, especially when you're using methods like PPP.
PPP, the famous presentation, practice, production method. Can you quickly break down how IMs fit into each of those stages for our listeners?
Absolutely. The PPP method is a fantastic three-step approach to teaching, especially for language. Presentation. This is where you introduce new language, new words, new grammar, anything new. IMs are crucial here. Think of an engaging educational video that introduces a new concept, or even a real object you bring to class to show what a word means. The main goal here is to make sure students understand what you're teaching. Practice. Once they understand, it's time for them to try it out. In this stage, students do controlled exercises to use the new language correctly. They focus on getting it right. This is where those appealing worksheets come in handy, gap fills, matching activities, anything that gives them repetition and a chance to practice accurately. Production. This is the fun part where students get to use the new language more freely. They might do role plays, have discussions, or write short stories. The focus here shifts to being able to communicate naturally. You might use prompts or scenarios for these activities, letting students experiment with the language.
That makes so much sense. So, beyond just fitting into PPP, what are the overall purposes of using IMs in our classrooms? Why are they so important?
Great question, Teacher Guy. IMs have several vital roles. First, they make lessons engaging and easy to learn. They help you explain complex ideas clearly and keep students interested. Second, they truly support the learning process. They give students those aha moments with new insights, like a captivating documentary, and plenty of chances to practice. This really helps students learn by exploring on their own and repeating what they've learned. Third, IMs structure your lessons. They act like a guide for both you and your students, making lesson planning and delivery much smoother. You can even use them to establish routines, like a quick summary video or poster after each topic.
And finally, IMs are fantastic for differentiating instruction. This means tailoring lessons to different learning styles and abilities in your class. You can easily modify worksheets, videos, or group activities to meet individual student needs.
Differentiation is key. Now, how do we know if our IMs are actually good? What are the characteristics of effective instructional materials?
Good question. The best instructional materials aren't just pretty, they're purposeful. They should always be aligned with your learning objectives, your assessments, and the activities you plan. Everything should work together. And tailored to the specific content you're teaching, the unique learners in your class, and even your own teaching style. That's a great checklist for our listeners. Before we wrap up, Mr. Ken, could you give us some quick examples of IMs and maybe how we can think about classifying them?
Of course. Remember, an instructional material can be anything you deliberately use to boost a learner's knowledge or experience. Even this very podcast is an IM. We can think of them in two broad categories: traditional or textual. These are the classics, books, photocopied exercises, newspapers, simple but effective. And modern or digital. This is where we see a lot of innovation. Videos like YouTube, online dictionaries, and online discussion forums. And we can also classify them by the senses they appeal to. Audio media, anything you hear, think podcasts, radio, recordings, or even just storytelling. Visual media, anything you see. Images, real objects you bring to class, charts, chalkboards, whiteboards, or projected slides. And audio-visual media, the best of both worlds. You hear and see at the same time. Television, educational videos are perfect examples.
Wow, Mr. Kim, that was incredibly comprehensive and super helpful. You've really given our teacher students a fantastic overview of what instructional materials are, why they're important, and how to use them effectively, especially with the PPP method.
My pleasure, Teacher Gay. I hope it helps all the future teachers out there build their confidence and their compass for the classroom.
I'm sure it will. To all our listeners, thank you for tuning in to Classroom Compass. Remember to use your instructional materials wisely. They are truly your teaching superpower. Join us next time for more insights into becoming an amazing educator.